Hey, love bugs, how are you doing? In the subscriber requested pick a card reading, we are going to find out how can you make friends. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. Very happy to have you here today. So if you skipped over the intro bit, we're going to talk today about how to make friends. This is a subscriber request to pick a card reading, and I thought that the topic was really sweet. You know, you don't see that many pick a card readings out there that help you understand what is blocking your capacity to form friendships and how can you make them. Just a second. Sorry guys, I'm playing some music in the background and it can get a bit crazy. Okay, one thing I want to say before I show you the piles is that thank you so much for your comments. I've been receiving a lot of comments lately on how I look, but I do want you to keep in mind that the way in which I look, which by the way involves a lot of effort, I don't wake up looking amazing. I have to go through a pretty intense and stoic lifestyle arrangement, taking care of my diet, practicing, exercising every day, taking care of my skin, my hair, blah, blah, all those things. So thank you very much for your compliments. I appreciate them. But keep in mind that the way I look supports the messages that I am sending out to you, okay? Tarot is what matters on this channel, not my looks. The looks are just, part of the whole nice package and experience of being on this channel. But they can change. Sometimes I might look like shit, other times I might look amazing. It's all regarding the energy, the astrological transits, and how good I take care of myself, okay? So let's focus on the messages, guys, because that's why you're here, and that's the important thing that you can take home. The looks come and go. Okay, so... Keeping in mind that disclaimer, I'm going to move on now and show you the options. We have here for group number 1. By the way, guys, I'm going to use books again because you really enjoyed books in my previous pick a card reading, so I aim to please. Okay, so we have here group 1. You have Love by Janet Winterson. This is your tiny book. Okay, group number 2 has Courage, or The End of Courage by Cynthia Fleury. La fin du courage, if you're French. And for group 3, my darlings, you have Liberty by Virginia Woolf. Okay, you guys know she's one of my favorite writers. So yeah. There we go. I pre-shuffled some oracle cards for you, but I will live shuffle tarot cards, okay? This is just so we can keep it in the flow and we can keep this dynamic and not make it too long because my videos have been very long lately and I want to keep it concise, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to start with group 1. Hey darlings, hello group 1. So this is for those of you that were drawn to Love by Janet Winterson. This is from a mini collection. I think it's the essays of Janet Winterson. Super interesting reading, okay? So let's see, how can you make friends, group 1? If you're here, then it means that maybe there are some blockages. What I am tempted to say just intuitively to begin your reading is that I think a lot of you are blocking your capacity to make friendships because you are too caught up in the game of finding your soulmate. I feel like a lot of you are putting so much energy into, finding a soulmate, thinking about love, thinking what you can do to improve yourself so you're ready for love. It's like your energy and your mind and your soul and your heart space is very much preoccupied with finding a mate, or if you are already in a relationship, it's about how to balance that relationship, how to make it better. So that's taking a lot of energy from the energy that you could put into making friendships. You were drawn to love for a specific reason, right? So it could be that a lot of you are daydreamers. I'm getting Pisces, Libra influences, Taurus as well. You are far too focused on love, and a lot of you are really in love with the idea of love rather than reality, That's not a bad thing. It's always great to daydream. I'm a Pisces Sun, okay? I daydream on the regular, guys. But yeah, okay, and the cards that are coming up are pretty interesting. Yeah, but make sure that, you know, you always keep things in balance, that you understand your moments of escapism and daydreaming, and then you balance them with reality and your everyday chores and your responsibilities. And I think in this situation, you got the Three of Wands here. You need to kind of open up your horizons, unfunk your mind, open your mind. And when I said this, it was 444, significant synchronicity for you. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you are kind of like, you're putting so much effort in your work, maybe you're supporting your family as well, and then you go home and you fantasize about love that you have or why things aren't working out in your romantic relationships, and you forget to get in touch with your friends, or you don't answer their messages, or you can't be bothered to go out with them because you're too tired, because you need time to reflect or obsess over your recent love conquest. I'm not putting you under the bus, guys, but I do think that there is here a slight bend towards romantic toxicity. Sorry to say this, but I do get, I mean, you see here the devil, right? There is an over infatuation. It's kind of like all you need to do, it's quite easy, right? So the way forward is really easy for you. All you need to do is unblock the energy that you're putting into fantasizing a lot about love, and take that energy and go out and make friends. Go out with your friends, answer to their calls, to their DMs, say yes to their invitations to go out. Because a lot of you have been in this hanged man position, right? It's kind of like in between, in limbo land, not knowing exactly what to do. I feel some of you are under the false illusion that your life cannot fully start unless you have a partner. So again, be very mindful of this toxic romance idea, right? I'm thinking of Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. I want your loving and I want your romance. You and me could strike a bad romance. No, you don't need that. Okay, I can understand that obsessive love or being in love with bad boys or bad women can be yummy on a certain level, okay? Yeah, sure, as an experience, you should have it at least once in your lifetime. Fall in love with somebody that's pretty badass, okay? But then detach, okay? Go back into that state of peacefulness, of creativity, of living from your heart, and of giving yourself to many other different people, because you know, you're not here to just give yourself only to one partner. You're here to experience life in its fullest, with its ups and downs in many different areas, right? And people do need your love, your friendship. They need your attention, they need your focus, they need your dedication. At work, for example, your parents might need your attention and your focus. The people in your environment might require your help. You need to give of yourself more than I feel what you're doing at the moment, okay? So we have here the Four of Swords. Exactly. I do feel that you're spending a lot of time alone and daydreaming, a little bit like you've created your own ivory tower. Ooh, a lot of you could actually be introverts, or you could have a stellium in your birth charts. A stellium is a concentration of a lot of planets just in one astrological sign in your birth chart. So you could have 4 planets in Capricorn or 4 planets in Scorpio, which would make you a person that doesn't really enjoy socializing that much, and you prefer to keep to your own, work independently, and you have a tendency towards isolating yourself. So keep in mind that this kind of mindset can turn toxic. You do need to socialize from time to time, because our brains react socially, okay? We develop our brains in reaction to other people's cues, activities, their ideas, their words. So we need that from time to time, social recharge, right? Especially you need that. And I have here as well the Four of Wands. For a second, I thought it was the four of Pentacles. I'm distracted by the candy, right? They look very round. So you see, she's running through a forest, and she kind of latched onto her grasshopper friend, and she's dragging this grasshopper friend through a forest of candies. I feel like there is a need for you to control as well. So when you are in a relationship with your friends, you might not realize it, but part of your shadow aspect in relation to other people is that you might need to have your things done your own way. And this is why there are blocks to your capacity to love and, you know, receive and give love as well, but also to your capacity to open up to other people. You really need to just Follow life as it develops and don't worry so much about the outcome, okay? That's what going with the flow means. Renounce the end result. You cannot know it. And to a large extent, why would you want to know it? It's so boring if we know how things end. You need to live them out and figure how they will end, if they have to end, as you experience them. So there is a fear here of fully experiencing life, of fully experiencing emotions. Some of you could have been hurt, deeply hurt in the past. Maybe you grew up in a toxic family and you can't handle any more toxicity, so you're kind of afraid, you're protective, and you're keeping yourself a little bit guarded. But I'm here to let you know that the best way in which you can make friends, my darlings, group 1, is to let go of the fantasy of love, because some of you have built up such great expectations of love that of course you can't find anyone to meet them in reality. I think a lot of you, this is the group that's also very much in love with celebrities or dead poets or dead artists. You know, you feel like you don't really belong in the world. Like you could have had a very beautiful relationship with Jane Austen or Thomas Hardy. I don't know, something from the past, you know? So yeah. Be careful with the bad romance tendencies. Be careful with idealizing love. Be careful that your idealization of love doesn't keep you away from experiencing friendly love, right? So friendship love or philia, okay? That's how the ancient Greeks used to call it, philia. It's not only eros, which is romantic sexual love. It's not only agape, which is unconditional love for other people, but it's also philia, which is this really sweet, kind, helpful love that you see between men and men or women and women. Yeah, some might call it bromance, right? So give into that, my lovely one, my lovely group 1, because I feel like you need to share yourself more widely with the world. So let's see right now what encouraging messages we have from your oracle cards. So we have here, oh, beautiful, Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. So the affirmations she has here are affirmations. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. What was I just saying, okay? What was I just saying? It's unbelievable how well they match. So awaken your heart. Give and receive in equal amounts. And then we have pig spirit. This is the animal spirit that is following you around in this period, I would say. Yeah, let's call it period, time span, however you want to call it. So there is this energy around you, and the affirmation is use your mind wisely. Exactly. Use your mind to carefully assess your reality, not to create illusions, and then you end up being lost in them like Theseus through the maze, right? And then you end up creating such a huge monster, the Minotaur, and you are afraid of actually, getting out of the maze, or you don't know how to get out of the maze, okay? So be very mindful how you use your mind. Use it to help yourself, not to trap yourself. And then last but never least, we have the owl. This is a wonderful boon of abundance. This lets me know that very soon you will be blessed with a lot of social opportunities. Opportunities to make friends are coming up. Get out of your ivory tower. Please, I say this with all my love. Get out of your ivory tower, go and connect with people, okay? Open your heart to them, to many different forms of love, not just sexual, erotic, romantic love. That comes and goes, guys. You can have so many opportunities of that throughout your life. Don't worry so much about it. And actually, the less you worry about it, the more it has the chance of manifesting in your life. Focus rather on opening your heart, using your mind wisely, because the owl, the white owl, is a symbol of spiritual protection. But in this deck, it also represents the Hindu goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of pleasure and arts and beauty. So a lot of gorgeous moments are coming up your way. A lot of social opportunities are opening up in your life. You would do well to open your heart, get out of your ivory tower. Okay, get out of bed. Get out of bed, get out of your ivory tower if you can, okay? If you're in a place where there isn't a quarantine, then there isn't a massive lockdown, and go and explore life, have different experiences, enjoy your time with your friends, and you will see that the more you do so, you will not only make yourself feel better, and for some of you, I'm hearing increase your mental health. So watch out for that. But also you will have let go of this toxic romantic expectation, and paradoxically you will see true love manifest in your environment as well. Why? Well, because you're having fun and living your life and enjoying your friends. So I hope this makes sense. The major block that I see here in your capacity to make friends is not at all related to your personality. It's just related to being too focused on pursuing and trying to find romantic love. Let go of that illusion and wonderful things are gonna manifest for you. That's what I had for you, group 1. See you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so we're moving on to group number 2. Hello. Hey guys. So this is for those of you that were drawn to Cynthia Fleury's book. Okay. Maybe some of you would be French speaking. If you are, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm really happy to have you here. I know you guys come from many different corners and places of the world. So I pre-shuffled some oracle cards for you. I'll read those at the end. But first, I'm going to live shuffle some tarot cards from the gorgeous Ceccoli tarot. Okay? So guys, let's see. Courage. Although the book is about the end of courage, right? I keep hearing mistakes. You could be afraid of making mistakes. What is this about? And then I hear slow and steady. Wow, and I had such a pressure drop at the moment. A lot of you really need to take care of your body, of yourself. You need to drink more water, and I'm gonna drink some tea. Wow, do you know that feeling, that sinking feeling that you have sometimes, and then your ears are all of a sudden muted, like you're underwater? Some of you could be feeling like this in this period. Maybe some of you are in a situation where the lockdowns have been too long or too extended, and now you're kind of thinking, oh God, where's my social life going? Don't worry, things are gonna be okay, okay? This is just a temporary period. You are going to see it through, okay? So let me show you the cards that I got. I've just unblocked the Knight of Pentacles for you. Yeah, slow and steady. And being very mindful that, you know, you're hyper aware of how you come across. And I think that with the Pentacle energy, this is letting me know that you try to please others to such an extent that you stopped enjoying relating to them. So there needs to be an element here of what do you get out of your experience of being friends with someone? You need to get an equal amount of enjoyment. You need to feel supported as well. You need to feel like you can express your opinions and that you'll be supported. If you don't get this, then maybe it's time to let go of the current attachments that you have in your life and make space for new ones. I feel that a lot of you have been surrounded by quite a lot of darkness. And because of that darkness, and what I mean by darkness is like people in your environment that have hidden intentions, that only want to interact with you because they want to use you for selfish purposes. They don't really care a lot about you. So I feel like you've been quite on your own, trying to juggle things, trying to maintain a very straight balancing act. But I think now is the time to just let everything drop and walk out of the darkness. The other cards that I have for you here are the King of Swords. The King of Swords speaks about being very good at communicating, asserting yourself, letting people know, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to support you because I need to pour my energy into myself. We can continue this conversation or this relationship at a later point in time, because right now I need a lot of self-love and self-respect to myself. I need to pour it back into myself, yeah? This is a lot about finding the courage to communicate. Finding the courage, right? But I feel like you're at the end of your tether. Some of you are like, I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. You know what? So if you're tired, very good. Cancel all your social engagements, go and rest. It's a bit like the opposite energy of group 1. I feel like what's blocking you from making friends right now is the fact that you need to let go of certain toxic attachments from your environment and make space. You need a new group of friends, one in which you can express yourself and you won't be judged, you won't be used, you won't be manipulated. You know, there are some manipulative people in your environment, or at least this is what I see from the cards. Because the next card that we have is the Knight of Swords. So the energy is kind of depleting. We went from a King of Swords to a Knight of Swords. It's kind of going down, right? Yeah, I feel tired. I feel like my eyelids are kind of falling over my eyes. So I do think that maybe some of you were even like a part of some social media groups, or you had your Facebook or Instagram accounts and there was some arguments, there was some negativity that you got involved in. And I think this depleted your energy as well. So you do need to let go of that. I can hear a dog barking outside and it's kind of making me feel irritated. So again, there is this sense of irritation, which stems from the fact that you need to get more rest. And you need to pick your battles, remove yourself from whatever conflict you might have immersed yourself into. Remove yourself, take some time to rest, regroup, maybe have a social media free day where you just go outside, you visit your city, you focus on the shape of the clouds in the sky, you take a walk in the park. Maybe you go and you visit your parents if you can do so at the moment. You take a drive and you just enjoy listening to music, exploring the landscape. You need to do these kind of things at the moment. And you need to think very deeply about the give and take ratio of your personal relationship. How much are you giving? How much are your friends giving? Are they supporting you or are they mocking you? Do you feel like they genuinely feel or find value in your goals? Do you think that your friends are excited about the things you're doing, or are they a little bit withholding? Whenever you have an achievement, do they congratulate you or do they hold back? Follow your intuition on this one. I feel like a lot of you have been too much in your mind, trying to control, trying to think, nah, I'm just imagining things. Nah, everything is okay. Nah, because you were trying to keep the peace. You were trying to be balanced. But I am here to let you know there are some pretty toxic, manipulative people in your environment. I'm really sorry to say this. I don't want to kind of like fearmonger or anything like that. But with two of these cards, these are concentrated air energy. This is a lot about not only your need to control mentally a situation that is harming you emotionally. So your intuition is telling you something, but your mind is like, nah, you're just imagining it. Nah, they're my best friends. I know them for a very long time. Have conversations with them. Get to the bottom of things. If you feel a nudge, if you feel something is weird, just talk to them. Just tell them, hey, I've been feeling a little bit like, I don't know, there's something weird between us. Is everything okay? And see how they react, okay? You will find out by the way in which these people react to you, whether they are your true friends or not. True friends support you. They help you out. You feel like you can rely on them. You feel like you can trust them. You feel like you can be yourself, okay? The great part in life is that we do not get to choose our family or our relatives, but we get to choose our friends. And that's amazing, okay? And having really good friends in your life, and when I said this, it was 2222 on the recording, so that's your significant angel love number. But having good friends in your life is truly a blessing, especially if you come from a background where you had some very difficult family dynamics. So make sure that you have those good friends. There is a time of social pruning happening around you, and you should embrace it. You shouldn't be afraid of it, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you have been postponing this process and it's been depleting your energy. Yeah, I feel like, so have the courage to face whatever is happening in your circle of friends and let people know. Yes, okay, maybe once you start this process, you might be pushed into a hermit phase. So in a phase where you might be needing to remove social relationships, social distractions, even social media accounts. I feel like a couple of you are going to delete your accounts because you don't see the point in using them anymore. Some of you might need to focus on work, on studies, on research, or on your own family, on your own privacy. Maybe some of you are going to redecorate your homes. So there will be something else that will come into your life that will distract your attention from this social pruning of the manipulative people in your group of friends. Once you do so, I have great news for you. So once you figure out who are these people that are, smack talking you, that are not really your friends, they're just fake media friends, or they're pretending to be your friends, as I saw it here. Once you find out, once you challenge them, and then once you retreat and you focus on yourself, I have great news. Look at this. the Two of Cups. You are going to find like-minded individuals that are gonna be drawn to the social void you have created in your life, and they're gonna want to be on your side to support you. While you are in this mode of, okay, so I identified some of the weird people, the negative, toxic, energetic vampires around me, let's call them like that, and I pushed them away. I decided to block them. I decided to stop talking to them. I decided to focus on myself. And the more you do so, the more you will attract people that are very similar to you. You will have shared interests with these people, and they will support you. They will lift you up, you know, they will inspire you. That's the word. That's what we want from our friends, right? To support us, to keep us optimistic, to inspire us, you know, to cheer us on in whatever goals in life we might be pursuing. It's not about envy. It's not about competition. If you find yourself falling in patterns of competition with other people, please, that's toxic, okay? You're not supposed to compete with your friends or keep up with the Joneses. You're supposed to just love your friends for who they really are. You're supposed to feel relaxed with them. That's the whole point of friendships. And I know that this year is a bit difficult because we have the South Node in Sagittarius, which means that a lot of us are compelled to let go of past karmic relationships, especially with our friends, because Sagittarius is the sign of friendship. But you can do this, Buttercup, okay? I trust in you. I believe in you. You matter. And it's much better for you if you do this process right now than if you continue this negative, sustaining these negative people in your life, and you end up feeling completely depleted, and then your work and your capacity to attract love will become affected as well, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, let's see what oracle cards I have for you. It was so strange because I heard kind of like a scratching on the door. So maybe a message is coming in. Maybe you will get a message from one of your friends as you're listening to this PickACard reading. Sorry, I had to drink some tea. So let's see what oracle messages I have for you. Okay. El Moria, awakening presence. So this is a lot about not thinking so much about your past connections or what your past relationship were with your friends, because I feel like for a lot of you it would be hard to let go of your friends because you've been holding on to them since high school or since childhood. But things change, people change, we want different things, you know, at a later point in our life. It's inevitable that we change, we grow up, we mature, we learn from our mistakes and, you know, from our experiences. Some of us, most of us. But here El Moria has appeared in your reading to let you know that the more you focus on the present moment, the more blessed you will be. And the more you understand your reality and your needs and your desires in terms of how you relate to your friends from the present moment, not based on what happened in the past, not based on what's coming up in the future. Be in the present moment. Okay, so the affirmations are: the universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. So don't be afraid of, as I said, taking a very assertive approach with the people in your life that have been draining your energy, because you will be protected. Yeah? El Moria, you can even summon or call upon El Moria and he will guide you through this process. The next card that I have for you is Giraffe Spirit. And we have here, see the big picture. So this is really beautiful. This is a lot about being graceful, being gentle, while also like retreating back onto a higher plane. I mean, the beauty about giraffes is that they are so tall, right? They are large creatures. They reach the sun closer than any other mammals. And they are just very kind and very gentle. They are not aggressive. So I think with the same sweetness, compassion, but also higher perspective, kind of detachment, you can start having those difficult conversations in your life regarding the people that you have in your environment. And if things don't resonate anymore, if you don't feel excited about going out with your friends, or if you feel that they're competing with you unnecessarily, you know what to do. Yeah. And I have here, yeah, this card really wraps up the whole King of Swords and Knight of Swords energy. So we have here Nightingale. This is about throat chakra alignment, right? So working with your throat chakra, singing, gargling, but most of all expressing your truth. This is the most important thing you can do in this period. It requires a lot of courage, yeah, to let people know that, hey, this is how I've been feeling, or, I haven't been resonating with you lately, or I think my values are very different than yours. Even our tastes have changed. Maybe even your political convictions have changed. Maybe even your religious convictions have changed. The world is a very big place with many, many different people. Don't be afraid that you won't reach the same level of depth with another person. Sometimes strangers and people that we meet very recently can actually bring us more honey and soul soothing in our life than people that we've known since childhood, and even relatives at times, right? So there is something there about the common sense understanding of the kindness of strangers, right? Keep that in mind. The world is not a scary place, even though the media is trying to make it seem like so at the moment. Sing your song, express yourself, speak your truth, and don't be afraid that you will be punished or told off or criticized. If you live in an environment with a group of friends where you are afraid to speak up, this is your first red flag. This is a sign that you need to change that group of friends, because friends are there to help us figure things out. You are there to talk to them. You are there to rely on their support in times of need. If you don't have this at the moment in your life, make the necessary changes. And I see beautiful things coming your way, okay? You have the capacity to see things from a higher, bigger perspective. A lot of you could be Sagittarians that chose this pile. So keep in mind, okay? Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult situation. You do need courage, and courage requires a lot of inner strength, but you can do it. I believe in you. Okay, so that's what I had for you, group number 2. I really hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so the final group. What the? Anyway, so I'm in a strange but good mood today. So, guys, I'm gonna drink some tea. You should drink as well. Drink some tea. Keep hydrated. Hydration has so many benefits. It improves our brain cells. It makes our skin more hydrated. It makes you focus better. It's fantastic. Okay, so keep hydrated. I don't know, maybe for some of you who chose this pile, you might be dehydrated. We did have a very, very hot summer. Okay, so keep that in mind. So this is for those of you that chose Liberty by Virginia Woolf. I kind of have the feeling like I'm your mother or something. It's like, keep hydrated, kids. Sorry, guys. I don't know. As I said, I'm in a funny mood. Okay, so I pre-shuffled some oracle cards for you, but I'm going to pull some cards live from the Ceccoli tarot right now. Oh, the cards are kind of flipping back into the deck. What's happening? There are some things hidden from you. Yeah. Okay. There's a little bit of the energy crossing over from group number 2. What's happening, guys? It feels like collectively there is a lot about people not showing who they really are, people creating all these fake accounts, fake identities, hiding behind the glitz and glamour of makeup, advertising, all sorts of like artificial aspects of the self. And I feel that similar to group 2, you might want to listen to that group as well. There is a sense here that you need to walk away from certain situations that have just been grating you. Like you've been opening up your energy to conflict and arguments and people that are slightly, well, toxic. But I want to move beyond this term a little bit, because we keep throwing this term toxic around without genuinely reflecting on what it means. Toxic is basically something that keeps you small, something that does not show you or reflect back to you your own self-worth. So you guys, the ones that chose group 3, you could be people that have a very good impression of yourself. You're not overly arrogant and think you're the best person in the world since sliced bread or something like that, but you're also like, hey, but I'm okay, I like my thoughts, I like how I look, I feel healthy and happy. But maybe you are not entertaining friends at the moment that are reflecting this back to you. Maybe a lot of them are just talking about themselves, and you're like, you feel drained after conversations with such people. Because when we have conversations with a person and it's only about that person, it's like the energy smacks us, it's just, it flows towards us, and it's kind of like you're being beaten down by that person's flow of words and of thoughts without having the chance to say something back, to push back the energy, right? So this is how the energy kind of flows in our everyday interactions. So keep this in mind. The next time when you speak to a friend, figure out, is this friend genuinely allowing space for your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions to come through? Or is it just like a sounding board? Are you just listening to a megaphone? That's basically what I have this image of a person at a rally or at a protest with a megaphone shouting in it. You know, it's like, listen to me. But keep in mind that you need to express yourself in relation to your friends. That's why we have friends. They are there to support us. They are there to remind us of who we are and of our wonderful self-worth, right? If you don't have people that actually congratulate you on your achievements, tell you that you are pretty and intelligent and you can do whatever you set your mind to, try to let go of those people around you. Try to walk away from them, because better people await you someplace else. I feel a lot of you are kind of discouraged at the moment. We have here the Four of Pentacles. You're quite possessive of everything you have in your life, and you're afraid to let go of difficult people or people that are kind of making your life a little bit tough. But with the Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, this is an indication that if you let go of conflict, if you walk away from a group of friends that are just bad-mouthing and complaining and, as I said, just pushing energy onto you without allowing you to express yourself as well, you are actually going to come back with your feet on the ground. You're going to be a bit more peaceful, you'll be a bit more centered, and you won't feel so alone. Because look at her, she's in a castle floating up in the sky and she's all alone. She's looking down. She's a queen, right? She has a crown on her head. And here as well, right? She's a very beautiful individual, but she's completely pummeled to the ground by other people's opinions. Some of you could be empaths and you're thinking, no, but actually this is what it means to be a good friend, you know, to support other people. And that's completely true. I'm not going to ever talk badly or not support empaths out there that are doing amazing work supporting people. But be careful that you don't support narcissists. Be careful that you don't support egotists, okay? People that just blah 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 about themselves 24/7, and they don't ask you even, hey, how are you? Can I help you with something? Do you need some money? Do you need some food? Do you need some shelter? Do you need just a conversation? Come over to my place. Let's talk about this partner that you're struggling with. Let's talk about your grant application. Let's talk about your relationship to your mother and father, okay? That's how the flow should be, right? You ask a question, the other person provides an answer. You provide an answer, the other person asks the question. There is a flow, right? An exchange, a mutual exchange. It's not just blah, blah, blah thrown at you, because then it will put you into the situation, you know, completely flat, emotionally flat, exhausted, and wondering what's the point. It's like, you have all these rich ideas, interesting emotions, and you can't express them to your friends. So it's quite heavy. I can understand this, but I do feel that you chose liberty for a reason. It's time to free yourself. Free yourself from these really uncomfortable social situations. And try not to feel guilty or punish yourself for wanting to release the burden, okay? Actually, the best thing you could do at the moment is to let go of this emotional burden and find people that you could genuinely speak to. And we have here as well the Knight of Pentacles. This could be a process that you are just embarking on at the moment, and it might take a while. Okay, but don't despair, don't give up. Maybe you have Saturn in your 11th house, or Saturn in your 3rd house or 9th house. This is a lot about friendships, about how you belong and how you feel isolated or excluded or bullied in your group of friends. So this is a lot about standing your ground and being in your self-worth and just saying, you know what, I'm going to make a very good, solid decision right now to protect my energy, to protect myself. I know I am valuable, and I know I want some people that I can have a mutual exchange with, right? I don't want to just attract people that dump their own issues onto me and then they leave me by myself to handle not only your problems, your own personal problems, but also their problems as well. Be very careful. As an empath, you tend to sponge a lot of other people's opinions, emotions, so don't allow them to just dump on you, okay? Reflect back onto them. Tell them, do you realize that you're just dumping on me right now? Or just tell them very sweetly, you know, with compassion, and say, I feel that you're talking too much about yourself. Where do I come into this relationship? Just see how they react. Their reaction is going to let you know whether you should keep them in your life or not. If they're defensive and aggressive, cut contact immediately. This is not a person that you need in your life. If they are actually able to reflect back and say, oh wow, I wasn't aware of this, I am so sorry, my mind was caught up with all the other stresses in my life, then yes, this is a person you should keep in your life. And as I looked at the recording time, 3333 appears, so this is your significant synchronicity. So yeah, there are many different gradients, okay? This is not a situation of either keeping people in your life, all of them, all at once, and being super happy, and then dropping everyone out of your life, and then you don't have anyone anymore because the tarot reader told you that. No, these are two extremes, okay? I'm talking about gradients. So as I said, express yourself in personal relationships and let other people know that, hey, I need some boundaries here, you know? I feel like you've been dumping too much on me. What's happening? You know, can I have a say in the situation? And then see how people react. And then their reaction is going to help you flexibly adapt to whether you would like to keep this person in your life, whether you should have some contact with them but maybe not see them all the time, and whether this person is actually a really good friend but they've been going through a very stressful situation and you just need to kind of adapt to this situation, or that person just needs to overcome the situation and then you guys can come back to being great friends again, okay? So we have here the Fool. The Fool is a lot about this, you know, risk-taking capacity, starting again, starting new in your group of friends. So I feel like for a lot of you, there is just this period. It's not necessarily the social pruning that I advised in group 2. Group 2 was really surrounded by, I felt like, manipulative people. I feel like you're surrounded by a group of friends at the moment that are very overwhelmed with life stresses. So you need to have patience and you need to remove your energy from them for a while at least. And then so that there is an energetic restart between the two of you, and then come back to them at a later point in time once they resolved all the other stressors in their life, and talk to them about your relationship and enjoy some time with them and talk about how you guys overcome that situation or where you guys are at emotionally. So I feel like what I am feeling for you here, it's more about freeing yourself at the moment from the pressure to socialize with your friends, regrouping into yourself, figuring out where you need to draw more careful boundaries and how you need to speak up and just let people know and reflect back to them their own behaviors, and then come back to them at a later point in time. This is basically what I see here. So how to make friends in your case. You already have quite a lot of friends. I see this. I see that you're quite a beautiful, popular person. We have here the Two of Wands, your final tarot card. So you are quite a beautiful person, although you need to watch out for certain, you know, self-involved tendencies sometimes. Yeah, okay, so for some of you, oh, and I got a pang in my belly. No, this is in no way criticizing you guys, right? So you don't need to feel ashamed or like you're being, you know, examined here. But I do feel that some of the difficulties you might be experiencing in relation to other people mirror your own self-involvement sometimes. So if you are going through a period where you have been focusing too much on yourself, where you've been putting yourself too much on a pedestal in your own life, and disregarding how you might help other people and how you might be empathic with other people, your friends are going to mirror this back to you. So they're going to talk a lot about themselves, sorry. Yeah, so do you understand how this works? If you've been too focused on yourself, your friends are gonna start being very focused on themselves as well. If you start to be more empathetic, more opening up, and more like wanting to help other people from just because you want to help them with no expectations of being appreciated or awarded or complimented, I feel like your friends are gonna start doing this with you as well. Does that make sense? I really hope it does. So there is a mirroring game happening here. And I feel that also in terms of love, it's the same. Like, you don't need to retreat in your ego whenever there's a slight hurt. Just face it head on and, you know, tackle it and ask people, okay, so why did you say that? Or what compelled you to ask me that? And situations will resolve. So let's see finally what oracle cards I have for you. So I have here Electric Eel Spirit. Yeah, there is a sense of nervousness, excitement. I think a couple of you are in some sort of identity transformation at the moment. Saturn return, or maybe Uranus conjunct your sun. So let's see, bring your ideas to life. I feel like the way to get out of being self-involved or too self-focused, if indeed you have been feeling too self-focused at the time, because this doesn't apply to all of you guys, but if you have been too much in your mind, communicate your ideas to your friends. You know, talk about ideas rather than relationships. This is going to shift the focus and the energy between the two of you. How can you create something together? How can you write something together? How can you bring something different to life? How can you support a charity or organize a political rally or a protest if that's where you want to pour your energy? And we have here Mother Mary, love and peace. The compassion I was talking about earlier. So let go of the need to be right. Oh my God. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So any of these strange self-involvement tendencies have to do with you needing to be right. This is what's blocking your capacity to make friends or to communicate better with your friends, okay? Talk more about ideas rather than emotions or your childhood traumas with your friends. Don't complain. Try to think of how can you create something happy and peaceful and positive together, okay? So yeah, this stems from some mother healing issues. Feel free to watch my video on maternal healing. Complement this with this reading if you feel so called, but choose the peace, right? Walk away from the conflict. As I said at the beginning, choose peacefulness. And yeah, let go of the need to be right. Let go of this possessiveness. Because we have here the vulture as well, and the vulture is the sanitarian bird of the bird world. So this is a bird that actually swoops in and eats the remaining dead flesh out of corpses and leaves only the bare bones. This is a person that has to do the dirty work, a person. Maybe you are the person at the moment who embodies this vulture spirit, and you have to do this dirty work of facing your shadow, figuring that there is this problem with control, there is this problem with self-involvement, and once you are able to kind of accept those things about yourself, your relationships with others will transform. There will be less conflict. You won't need to argue so much with them about what's right and what's wrong, and you'll just be flexible and be happy with being in the present moment and just accepting people for who they are. And in this way, they can accept you for who you are. Cleanse your space, cleanse your mind, and cleanse your environment. I hope this makes sense. Anyway, that was the reading that I had for you, group 3. If you didn't enjoy it, feel free to watch group 2 as well. It was my intention to bring as much light as possible into this matter. So guys, it was a pleasure for me to do this reading for you. I'm super happy that you're here. I'm sending you so much light, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.